Okay, today we have Isha Mukherjee. So not too sure if she's really qualified. Let's get the script up and ready, and let's wish Isha all the best. Hi, Isha. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Hey, how are you? No, I didn't hear you.
How do I pronounce your name?
Aisha.
Aisha. It's
Yes.
Sean. I'm
Sure.
based in Singapore. It's 8 a.m. in the morning here. What about yourself?
It's 10:09. I got so excited cleaning that I actually I lost track. I was in flow state. Sorry, buddy.
I see. Where are you based?
Melbourne.
Oh, right. So you're 2 hours ahead of me.
Yep.
Okay, you have to help me out a little bit because I don't have much information on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, could you briefly summarize the conversation you had with Sabah so I know how to best support you on this call?
Absolutely. So basically, all right. So the background is I have an Indian background. And I have sort of gone against the grain when it comes to the traditional way, the cultural way, society way, and created my own sort of blend because my mum is also English, my dad's Indian, and I sort of found a really good blend. And being in that culture and similar cultures, I've noticed how we're limited, we're conditioned in a very different way, belief systems, programming, and everything starts from home, right? Like food, what we like, what we don't like, how to judge, all that, who we are, identity, like you're my child. A lot of very ownership based and very like structured. You owe me, do it this way. Elders are always right. So all that stuff, I sort of tested and pushed it, and even to do with studying religion and all that stuff. And I believe, so when I had my three kids, so I've got a 21-year-old, I raised them very differently, and I noticed that. So I compared my upbringing, compared how I resisted and pushed, and also then I raised my kids differently. Now, in today's day and age, my eldest daughter, she's 21, runs her own business, gone against the grain, very, she does boxing, she very compassionate, loving as well, and does all that stuff. And I thought, okay, she's got a great mixture of both. And how I have created this with all three of my kids, how I've been able to put myself aside so they have followed their own passion and stuff, how I've created leaders instead of followers, how I've done all that. And to put that out there, especially now, because what I explained to the parents is before, 50 years ago, the influence was just us, right? And they used to compare within the home or just the street or just the community or just the school. Now the influence, the comparisons, all that is endless, right? Because of the internet, media and stuff. I said, so basically you've got to bring it back home and create the solid foundation within the home, right? Within the first 7 years, and then how you sort of do all that. So I'm trying to put that out there because people are not really, they're working on other stuff, business, they'll get a business coach, they'll get this coach, but I'm like, guys, you're missing the whole initial 10 years from now, these kids that are born now with this influence, this comparison, this judgment, these kids 10 years from now, and I always think, so these kids also 20 years from now are going to be our teachers, like our kids' teachers, and what kind of future generation are we creating? And so I'm trying to put that out there, I'm trying to basically grow not just, and being divorced twice and everything, how did I come across, how do I still stand in my integrity, how do I still have the courage, how do I do, so basically working on the family structure itself, from the mother, if it's the mother or the father, but creating a leadership environment, creating like your own tribe within the house, so that then it's sort of like when they walk out of the house, it's it's what they learn within, and to be the, like as a mother, it's the leader. It's not a boss. It's like the leadership. a community within my home, what I've created here. And that's the thing, because I've been able to do it consistently with my 3 kids. It's like, no, this is doable. This is not accident. And that is pretty much what I want to put out. And what's happening is I like putting the content out and stuff, but I also don't like, what I was telling someone was, I don't like to sell it, like, people. I just don't feel it's not that I feel uncomfortable or I am like shy and stuff. It's not that. It's like I don't like that of it.
It's very draining.
Yeah, and I just feel like, dude, you're missing the whole, like, the focus moves from my purpose to like, dude, this is, and it's not about that, it's more that I want to put the right content out, get the actual, what I'm trying to, like, that should do it for itself, that's
your message.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the main? Okay, actually, Chinese families are the same way. It's like, this is how it's done, just follow the tradition.
Asian culture.
Don't ask so
right?
many questions. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. And I've got nothing against, I love my culture. I love Asian culture. I've learned so much, but like I was saying to another friend, they're like, oh, it's work. And I said, okay, if a virus mutates, don't you actually adapt towards the mutation of the environment? You do, right? And I said, so it's like saying we're playing soccer now, right? But I'll get players from 1960 that used to train from 1960, the way they did it, the food they ate, the coaches they had, and I'll play them with the field and players that are in 2021. I said, does it make sense? I said, you have to understand the environment that I'm playing with. Yeah, it's great to be able to stay at home and look after your husband or whatever, but things have changed now. The expectation, the all that has changed. So you have to be able to tweak and use what benefits you from your culture and stuff, but also be able to resist what doesn't. And that's the blend I'm talking about, because like I lived in India for a year and I just saw how, my God, like there is no, it is just stuck. And I said, it's a culture like where everybody is trained to work, but not to lead, right? To not question, like girls are not involved in financial decisions at all. And God, what keeps a girl in a marriage or a relationship longer than they should? It's that independence, that security, because they don't know. They have to depend, right? So it's changing all that. However, I raised my kid. My kid didn't want to go to uni. She wanted to start a business straight away. And my dad, who's Indian, right? So he's like, no, she has to study. I'm like, she's studying. She's studying. Yeah. She's learning to, actually do her own business.
Yeah.
So I had to go against my own dad. And I said, that's fine. But she is going to, and you have to have courage, and it's all these things. It's like how to develop courage, how to stand in that, how to support, like actually support, not because she's going to do something for me, but actually support without judgment, all that stuff.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And it does, man. It takes me to do that first for my child to then go, yep, I got it. Because she's standing in her truth, so then she stands in hers, especially now. If you see, have you got kids, Sean?
Planning to. I just got married.
Oh, congratulations. Thank you. But yeah, man, like if you have any child, like I was saying to a client yesterday, think about it this way, like that life should be able to be an individual self-sustaining life. Right? So not dependent on a partner, not dependent on a parent, not dependent on any way. It should be the parent's goal is to actually cultivate a self, a life that can sustain itself, not even a burden on society, not burden for no one. And as a parent, I should be able to self-sustain myself so that I don't say, oh, you have to now look after me because I looked after that kind of stuff. No more. Individual life is that itself, an individual life, and my whole process is like that. It's like not to create attachment, not to create but more to do, how do I cultivate myself and also my future generations so that they are service society, not dependent, right? And these are the things that I do and how I put them in pressure situations. How none of my kids have social media, you know.
I see.
My eldest one has a business one, but not a personal one, and she's 21. And my 16-year-old, no, nothing. So why do I do this? You know, all these things I tackle that stuff, and it's just putting out there. Like my kids know how to do gardening, mow the grass, and they're girls. Mow the grass, do the gardening, do all the house stuff. My son is also learning, change tires, everything. Just because I die today, what am I leaving? A whole person, right?
A whole person.
Yes, a whole life that self-sustains. And so that is the way I parent. So, and it's raw, you know, if they piss me off, they get it. You know, it's not just so soft and subtle and everything. It's the spectrum of life. And seriously, the three of them are just incredible because I've been able to parent that way and hold my own, you know, like I have gone against the grain and done it that way. And that's what I'm trying to say. But I don't want to do the selling part because it's not right with me.
Yeah, I completely understand. These kids that you have, you raise them yourself?
Yes, myself, single mom.
Single mom. So it seems that you have a unique blend. I feel that you are kind of being both the mom and the dad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so you have this unique blend, and I think you're really brave and strong and independent because I can imagine a lot of moms, if they were in your position, they would be lost, you know, vulnerable. They don't have a man in their life. And
Yes.
3 kids, you know, even just my elder brother has 1 kid, that is already a handful. So 3 on your own, I'm sure that in my mind, you're already a thought leader as far as single moms are concerned, because you have evolved a new paradigm of raising a new breed of children.
Can I, sorry, Sean, just to cut you in. The thing is, with that is the fact that people are so attached to titles, right? So if you are married, there's a different energy and a meaning to it. If you're single parent, there's a different energy. And that's my thing. I talk about don't title worship, right? And own everything, right? Whatever the situation is, if you learn to own it, you know, it diffuses anything that is negative about it. So for me to say I'm a single, I don't feel any that's another thing I work with, especially single moms. It's like, if I say to you, Sean, you have black hair, you're very cool to own that because you're like, yes, I do. But if I say to a parent, you're a single parent, you know, there's something happens and they're like, I don't feel comfortable with it because of the meaning. So then I work on that too. I said, what meaning are you giving? Because I give myself a very different meaning. I have shown that I can raise a boy who's 7, who's very compassionate, loving, tough, does MMA. I box with him. Their sisters look after him. He's solid. Do you know what I mean? Like there is no need that, and life is life, right? Life is not wrong. If you're in a situation, believe me, right? So the more I deny my situation, the more I have resistance. The more I accept and respond to my situation, man, I kick goals, right? So the first thing is ownership, and I work on all that stuff. And that's exactly right. With parenting and stuff, I have to break through that initial something bad has happened. Like, oh, we are not a perfect. I know plenty of perfect families that have mum and dad and their kids are messed up.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying? So those are the things that I break down, that don't judge the story. Don't judge the situation. It's perfect for your growth, you know?
Yeah. I feel like you're the one giving me the clarity call here. Hey, I can see why all your children are so strong. They want to start their own business. They're practicing martial arts. I can really see where all that influence is coming from.
We do breath work as a family. You know, we do breath work. We meditate as a family. We ground. They know everything, right? But also me and my 20-year-old, 21-year-old, we got drunk 2 days ago. It was her birthday. So I have that too. Like we are solid, like a unit. And that's what I want to encourage in families, that you can have the most amazing family, right? When you become authentic, when you are truly authentic and live from that space.
I would love to have my wife listen to the recording of this call.
No, truly, I tell you, man, let your kids, I'll tell you one thing, let your kids spread their wings and cultivate them. Don't even raise them.
You see, it's funny because you say you don't like selling, but I'm very sold on your whole philosophy of your kids at this age. They are growing old now, are they starting to appreciate what you have done the last 20 years? Like the things you've done?
Absolutely. Like I would love you to meet my kids. Like I said, they are so on point. They're so solid. They are not influenced. They're very, very much like standing there. If they have to stand alone, they're very standalone. And things like I said, oh, look, I've got a call. You go take your brother to the uniform shop, buy his pants and everything. We work as a unit. No one is the boss in my house, not even me, right? We work as a team. And that's why it's good. So, and we have just, like I said, me and my daughter can get drunk together. We can also meditate together. That is the range of like relationship, and that's what you want with your kids. That's what you want with anyone, right? You want to be able to drink with your wife and also have those deep and meaningful conversations. You don't want to connect with anyone on one dimension, right? True connection is raw, real. It's everything. You should be able to love your wife when she says no to you, exactly the same as you if she says yes to you, right? And that's what I hold space for my kids. It's like, I don't just love you because you're doing it my way. I want to show them that, hey, even when you're going against me, I might not agree, but I'll hold space. No judgment.
Hold space. Okay. I learned a huge lesson today. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's a huge pity. I almost canceled this call because you were a few minutes late, and I was thinking, like, because I do a lot of these calls, and I was like, oh my God, is this another like is shit for real kind of thing? But the reason I'm saying this is because even before this call, I was looking through your profile, and the things that you're sharing with me on this call, your profile right now, it doesn't do you justice at all.
I know. No, see, so I'm lacking that. Exactly, right?
I mean, if the recording of this call were to go out right now, I'm sure your audience would view you in a complete different way. So
Okay.
I really feel that your message is, even your profile photo, initially I thought it was a guy, and then when I click on your photo, I realized that, oh, you help moms. You have this message, like what are you about? So how long have you had this? You're a authenticity coach, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you had this coaching business, and is this the main full-time thing you're doing?
No, so this is very recent, but I've had the concept or the desire, the idea, whatever, for a long time. And only probably last year I started, because another little bit of background, my second marriage, I was married to a really, really famous Indian cricketer. And so I was living very busy, because I live in Australia, he lives in India, and I was traveling a lot with my son and just managing everything, right? And that's another thing that I want to share, that, look, man, I can walk away from something. You can walk away from something that doesn't serve you, right? If you really understand yourself, right? There is no bad or good. It's like, dude, it's what serves me, what serves my children. So I want to be the face for people to say, it's not that I haven't faced stuff or I don't go through stuff. And also, because I had that life, I couldn't invest in this business and what I wanted to do, right? What I wanted to put out. I don't push against that. I flow. And now that this has happened, now I started to put in content. I started to do that because now I have the time. Before I couldn't. So I never resist life. I go with it. So even that journey taught me so much that if someone is like saying, hey, you know, this, I feel nervous. Hey, man, my separation is public. You know, cricket in India is like God, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I can stand in that, right, you can stand in a little community and do yours. You know what I'm saying? And be okay with it. It's completely fine. So even that had its own journey and stuff, but it's pretty much, I would say, a year, if maybe not even, about a year that I've really started to want to take this serious and take it, because I thought, wow, my divorce didn't really affect me. How am I? Oh, it's my daughter. 1 second. So I say, how have I turned out so different? You know, how have I been able to separation, divorce? How, and then I study and analyze and I write, like, what was it that I had to develop in order for me to do this? What are the practices? What is my mindset? So I write this all down, you know. But pretty much, yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, I can't convey it in the best possible way that me and you are having this conversation.
Yeah, it's a pity, you know.
Mm.
And so it's been about a year since you started this thing.
Yeah.
You have 3 kids to feed. So are you currently? I mean, were you in a job, or you have something else? How were you putting food on the table?
How will you what? Sorry, Sean.
How were you putting food on the table if this is a new venture?
Oh,
What were you doing previously?
so I obviously, because I was married to a cricketer, financially I'm set. So this is not even coming from a financial gain. Do you get me? This is
Yeah.
truly coming from my heart's purpose to say, hey man, Sean, if you're having a kid, let me just tell you, with shit that's around now in this world, so many kids are like anxious and depressed, and there's so much, like I say, influences. I can show you that, you know, you can actually have really good family, you know, based on like what I've done, right? And even with your wife or whatever, like to stand in that truth. So it's not even coming from a place of money need, but it's more like really heartfelt. No, I've seen too much women, too many single parents, too many cultural family set up where, man, it's disempowering and it breaks my heart, right? It's coming from that space.
So I would classify you as what we call a heart-centered coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Heart-centered coach.
And is your goal to build this business?
Absolutely. That is it, right? If I do this, I show other women that they can do it. And I don't want that, and that's the thing, right? I have to be able to say first, hey man, you can do it. Look, I did it. So then this is how I do parenting is first so when I taught my kids to meditate, I did it for about with asking them. And then I did it for about 6 months without asking them, saw the benefits, what was the thing, then I expose it to them. So same thing, right? With this business, I will do it. I will create some sort of momentum, some sort of whatever. And then, because see, for a single mother, they don't always have the backing that I do.
Yeah.
But I should be able to say it's possible, right? I should be able to say, look, you can do it in steps. Because money is a massive thing. What I have asked, like a lot of people, is like, okay, if you were financially secure, would you be in this relationship? No. Right? A lot of women say that. And it's not for me to say, oh, I want everybody to get, it's like, dude, you have to have a even playing field, make a choice coming out of security and stability, not from fear and lack. So my whole thing is, when you are stable, that's when you make your best decisions, right? So it's giving parents or family stability, never from that place of need and I'm fearful and that's why I'm making this choice, because how is that going to end up down the track, right? So it's teaching kids, man, don't decide to go to a party out of a lack of like fear, oh, my friends won't talk to me, because you're never going to make the right choice.
Exactly.
Stable, ask yourself, do I really want to go? Right? So how to create the stability in everything in life. Like if you are actually secure, and I said to you, your friends can't hate you if you don't go, they can't. Most of the time they go, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just always asking yourself empowered questions. Okay, if nothing could go wrong, if I make this decision, would I do it? No.
You know, if the way you raise your 3 kids and the things you're saying to me now, if
Mhm.
your coaching clients, they were all like your kids, they will all turn out very, very well as well. You know, you get what I'm saying? Your
Yeah,
clients are, I'm sure you would lead them in the same way as you lead your
absolutely,
kids.
absolutely, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's not for me to take away power from my daughter, right? So even when we discuss sex, like she was 21 and she was talking to me about like, I don't know how we got onto about the sex thing, but I said, okay, never said yes or no to her. I never say yes or no. I'm just going to tell my daughter not to call 1 second. um, so I explained to her in 3 different ways. I said, there's a physical ready, there's an emotional ready, and there's an energetic ready. I said, when those three align within you and only you know, then you're ready. But that's your call, right? So I don't say yes. I put power back into them. I said, you can sleep with 10 guys, but you can say to me, I was aware, I'm completely okay with the outcome, no matter what, this, that. And if you slept with one person and you weren't ready, wrong choice. Right? So how to align those things, because those three things matter. And I was told her, these day and age, physically people develop a lot faster, but they're not emotionally ready. And then I explained the science behind energetic transfer.
Wow.
But it did. It gave her power to make her own choice. Right? And
Now she can think for herself.
now she can think and feel for herself and understand what is really giving away.
Which
And
is
what
so different if you were to tell her no, like, don't do it.
exactly, I don't do it before marriage. Do this, no. Why no? Why no? Right? And
Why?
so even explain the science behind energetic transfer, right? Emotionally. And then what they do when they understand, and what I do it with meditation, I do it with wide breath work, I do it with everything like that, so that they have an understanding and they're always making the choice. I don't want, because if I die tomorrow, they're going to look for someone outside now to tell them how to live, right?
They're gonna hire a coach.
Or any friend's going to tell them, a boyfriend's going to tell them, a husband or wife's going to tell them. Now they can actually start to question themselves. How to sit still, how to ask, how to not get distracted. I do it many times. Like if my daughter, she was on some sort of app and she was constantly looking at it, and my first test is, okay, take it off. Let me see if you can not use it. So I test them in that way too, to see how are you addicted. I don't tell addicted because I don't want to put anything in their mind, but I just, okay, you've been using it too much, just cancel it. Yep, done. So the moment I know that they've got a separation between that thing and them, they can actually shut it off. Okay, I still know they're in check. So as a parent, I check, right? My son's iPad usage. We've made a promise to each other. I call you once, even if you're in the middle of the game, you should be able to walk away from it. The moment you don't, it turns off. Done deal, right? So the fact that they can break away from something still tells me they're in control. So it's things like this. Not that I don't let them use it. That's silly. But just make sure always they're in control of the device, not the other way around.
So all these, your methods, your thought process, your solutions, your intention, have you put all of this into an offer that you can sell to someone as a coaching program?
No, I've not put it in a program.
For example, the next call I have later today is with a friend. She is a single mom. And I know that because of her, the kind of things that single moms struggle with, I can't even begin to imagine, but I have a rough idea. And if you were able to put everything that you just told me into a system, so to speak, I'm sure you could help so many, even your niche is already established, you could help so many single moms that are not like you in the sense where they lack the know-how, the certainty, the courage, all those things that you were saying. Wow, all these things, it would help them so much, because without someone like you, there's no guide. I haven't seen any guide out there that can help single moms that are fearful and feeling alone.
Yeah.
So why do you not have an offer? How could you not have an offer?
I don't know. I just don't know how to see. That's the thing. I don't know how to put it in a package. Like, I have so much to say, and so
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it in a package.
So
Do you get
you
me?
haven't been coached before? So
No coaching.
where did you learn to do your current profile and all those things?
Oh, Kevin, someone knows Kevin. So he just does like Facebook. He just did a little bit of the Facebook stuff. And so I just, like I did like a few of his Facebook stuff. But I just do that myself, but I've not come up with and what happened, I was doing that, but then when it came to doing the marketing for it, I just didn't resonate with it, because for me it was like, dude, I don't want to, this is way beyond selling my product. This is for me not to fucking make money. Yeah, it is truly to help, because I know how disempowering those women feel, right? And I want to be the face. I want to say, dude, I've been divorced twice, no problem. I've been sexually molested, no problem, man. I'm 44, right? I can shave my hair if I want to. I can do I box, I cook, I do and if I don't want to do any of that, that's fucking cool too. Like, right? So I will say to my kids, no, I'm not doing it. I always teach my kids, you're not to love me because I do shit for you. Love is just love, because they have to be able to love. I have to be able to love them for no, not because, oh yeah, my mum's cooking for me. I make sure especially with my son, because he's a part of a culture that boys are, always catered to, love, given that whatever they want. And very early on, I'm like, no, he heard a lot of no from his mum, because I was like, no, man, I don't want to. I'm tired. End of story. I do not feel guilty parenting. That's another thing. Parents feel guilty when they're separate. Oh, I have to. Hell no. You're teaching your kid to love you because you do for them. Love is unconditional, right? They must love you when you don't do shit for them too. Vice versa. So these are the things that I teach. I have no guilt in parenting, right? So, but see how much I have. I don't know how to push it into I don't know how to.
I'm seeing a little bit of a conflict in terms of you want to help and you're not comfortable selling at people. But if you were to put on your business hat with me for a second, if you want to turn this into actual business,
Yeah.
you have to charge, and you have to charge high, even though you are out to serve, which is super important. When you're charging, you are holding your clients accountable.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
completely agree with you. But the way that Kevin's program was doing is like, I have to like go into people like in groups and then find one person and DM them. I didn't feel comfortable with that. It just didn't resonate. But if you would tell me my content is great, people are reaching out to me, hell yeah, I can sit for an hour.
Okay, so let me clarify something. You were in Kevin's program.
I'm still there. Yep.
Okay, so how are you, like halfway, or are you finishing?
Yeah, pretty much halfway. And like I said, the marketing part is not the thing that I'm gelling with. Everything else is cool.
Okay.
Do you get?
So you didn't know about this before you joined?
Yes. So I had no idea on how to how Facebook does how you do the selling marketing part. No idea. Zero. Zip.
Okay, so now you're halfway through the program, and you're realizing that Kevin's way is to go into groups and make connections, and you're kind of feeling that, hey, that's not what I want to do. So you have kind of like, is it like are you on like some kind of a pause right now to like rethink what's my strategy moving forward?
I think I like everything that he has done so far, to be honest. Like, it's good. Yeah. He's been very helpful in that to even for me to get to where I am with. I was very lazy with, I don't do social media. So I suck at that pretty much. And then when that selling part came, I thought, is there another way? Because I'm not resonating with that way of selling, and that's where I've stuck. That's where I've stopped now. So I haven't gone further because now I'm like, I feel stuck. And Saba's thing, I didn't find that like she's out there, you know, DMing people, because I feel it was more like a natural sort of flow because her content's good. I love what she puts out. Like it sort of grabs you in its own. And then when people reach out, man, I don't care. I can talk to them like I'm talking to you. Then they will, do you get what I'm saying? Like, but the initial grabbing them, I don't like that part of it.
So the main thing I guess I will clarify for you on this call is the difference in intention. So sales marketing, since it has begun for human beings, the game has always been the same. It's always to have conversations, to build relationships. So I guess what you're not vibing with is not so much the technique, but it's the intention behind the technique.
Yeah.
So I would say that,
but not the initial going to like individual DMs. And because, man, when I get those hit ups, I'm like, you know, because I'm like, because you end up knowing the process, right?
Yeah.
And that's another thing I noticed, right? This is what I really noticed. So say I'm in Kevin's group and there's another group attached to that group. Everybody's sort of like within the group that's friggin' getting business off each other. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Because for what I want to do, it has to be outside of those groups.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. So this coach knows this coach, and then because I'm a part of this coaching, then that coach DMs me and says, hey, I saw this and that. And I was like, it's very interconnected, right? But I'm like, it's sort of also ugly in that sense, because I'm like, I know it's like a business tactic too. It's not for my, and it's sort of like, it's not really for my audience, man. It's not gonna work that way, right?
Exactly. The difference between you and them is you are very clear on your specific niche. It's moms, single moms, you know, or even parents. So I would say that a lot of those things that you see, they are more on the business side of things. So I guess if I were in your shoes, I would really be focusing on my niche. I would learn from like the latest techniques and stuff.
Yes.
But I think you're very clear on who you want to serve. So I would say you can do the same way you did with your parenting skills. You took the best of both the yin and the yang, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, exactly. You're spot on. You got it.
Yeah. So working with Kevin, has he been able to put what you're sharing with me into an offer?
Not specifically. Like he has said, okay, make like a 6-step whatever, but not really, man. I think that's left more to the individual to sort of cater and then sell it like a launch week or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, there should be some coaching in terms of the 6 steps, whatever. Like, let's figure out what the whatever is.
One-on-one?
Even in a group coaching, like there should be, because everything you do in your business, Asia, it rests upon the foundation of your offer. The offer is the main thing.
Yeah.
Who you help, what is the outcome you provide. The 6 steps, whatever, it's what gets your client from point A to point B. So this is the main thing you're selling. This is the main, you might not like the word selling, but this is the main thing that gets your clients to where they want to get. So this thing that I'm asking you about is the most important thing.
No, not directly. No.
Yeah, you need to get it up.
I think that one more was to how to sort of start Facebook off for like people that has never had an online business. It's like a general start off for Facebook. and stuff. Do you get me? Because I came from like no knowledge of online business or anything, right? So you have to understand, I've come from a place of like, how would I even create the content? What apps would I use to make those little things? So it's basic. So his coaching is basically for people that have had no, like if you said use this program, like half of it I probably wouldn't know until you showed me. So it's for basically people who had no prior knowledge to anything to do with Facebook and all that stuff, right? So very basic. So he's covering parts of it on a very basic level, you know. So it has helped me, but again, I think that's why I sort of reached out to Sarah, because I thought, okay, now I've got to really hone into. I've just hone in, because I'm not able to sort of like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm meaning? Like I can't hone in on anything, and it's sort of on that level of basic.
Okay, I can see your profile. You're doing great in terms of from where you start with what you have now. I'm telling you right now, you're doing great. You have the foundations. What I see now after this conversation today, I'm very clear right now. You need a clear offer. If a single mom comes to you and she says, I have a kid and these are my financial goals, these are my personal goals. Like I have no idea how you raise 3 kids on your own, and they're all doing so well. They've seen your story and they're like, Asia, can you help me? I have no direction. I'm feeling fearful.
Yeah.
How can you help me? You show them, this is my 6-step whatever, my 6-step whatever process. Week 1, this is what we do. Week 2, this is what we do. Week 3, this is what we do. And by the end of this, you're going to achieve X. Is this an outcome you want? And then you start working with that client. So to me, it is almost a crime that you have all this value and you don't have a clear offer. So we really need to sort that out.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And that's why I thought I have to take it to the next stage, because I'm so confident that even if you said to me on the spot question and answer, like I've got a problem, tell me a solution, I don't care. It just downloads and I'm like, here it is. And so I want to have an offer that I can help people, because I'm like, exactly, man. Like I'm like, the life I live with the people, none of my kids have rebelled. None of my kids have done, they don't drink. Like, yeah, now and then they drink with me or whatever. None of my kids have like gone crazy. And I'm like, dude, this is possible. Absolutely possible, you know? And it's like, it's not rocket science. It's not something that, only I've done or whatever. No, man. And my kids have had, you know, my girls have gone through 2 separations. No one's depressed and have anxiety here. No one sees a psychologist. How the hell has this been possible, right? And yeah, it's like I'm not afraid to, because I have a lot to sort of express and tell, and I'm so confident in what I do. So confident, like I have no doubt.
How motivated are you to make this business work? Even though you're not going for the money, how motivated are you to turn this into Saba's business, where she's consistently doing 30K months, she's having a fulfilling career?
Yeah.
Is this something you want to pursue as well, or you just want to like?
Absolutely, because I'll tell you why. The money would not motivate me. So that's good, because it's not for money, right? It would not be enough to motivate me. I'm not very materialistic, so it doesn't pull me. But again, I'm the example to my kids. So that is my motivation. That is what motivates me. So because I need to repeat this, I need to be able to tell my daughters that, hey, man, you have to, if I'm telling you have to sustain yourself, it's financially too. Here you go. So my other daughter is very good with makeup, and that she's 16, yeah? So she wants to do stylish. Already started her having ideas of like business and blah, 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 because like I said to you, for a single mother, believe me, the number one concern is financial freedom, right? So that's what motivates me, because what am I leaving behind? If I'm leaving behind 2 dependent girls, shame on me. if I'm leaving behind 2 sufficient girls, good on me. So that's my motivation, right? And I have to be able to say, man, I did it from scratch too. You can as well. So that is my motivation. Money wouldn't have motivated me, but that drive for me to be the representation to my kids, massive motivation.
Okay, I've really enjoyed this conversation with you so much. I've learned so much. I'm going to share what you told me with my wife later on about being complete, being self-sufficient, and holding space, loving people even if they disagree with you. And
Yes,
it's a huge lesson for me.
Yes, always
But
coming as a kid too, right? Never make them feel I only appreciate you because you got good marks or whatever, because as an adult, they'll only get validation when others give them some value when they're doing something, right? And that becomes a really toxic cycle in them, right? So I'll only, if I be something, if I do something, I'll get love, right? And imagine a kid that has felt love no matter what.
No matter what.
Right?
No matter
imagine
what. Yeah.
Going to grow up feeling worthy no matter what.
No matter what. Huge.
So
You see, it's a crime that people are not hearing this from you. And I'm so privileged to hear this like first before anyone else hears it. You know, yeah, I really appreciate this conversation, but we are nearing the hour, so I have to wrap things up. The other thing I wanted to add to today's conversation is I would like to urge you to want to charge high ticket prices, because what you're selling is not information, it's transformation. For a single mom, this means so much, because without your guidance, God knows they're going to spend so much more money, so much more time figuring this maze alone on their own. So I want to urge you to really command high ticket prices. And the 3 things that I've identified that are the top priority for you to focus on right now. Number 1, like I said, is your offer. That's the main thing. Number 2, I would say it's a how to say, it's a adjustment of your beliefs about selling. And not that I'm changing anything, but I would like you to incorporate the firmness and the way you discern as a parent into the way you perceive selling. Because if you see a single mom that is lost and needs your help, that is someone you have to sell. Because without your help, she would just be floating, somewhere in the universe with no guidance. And you could say no to all those that you don't think you can help them, you don't think are fit, you can just filter them out. But I would say if you see your ideal client, you're going to hold on to them. Yeah. And the last thing I would say is a system for you to consistently and predictably get those ideal clients into your system. They might not be in the groups that you're hanging out with, but they are hanging out somewhere.
Yeah.
The single moms, they are congregating somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to find a way to get them into your system and start conversations. Not like DM to pitch, but like conversations like this where you really get to know each other. So they see what kind of power you have.
And so how would I do that though?
Yeah, so that is not something that I can coach you on, because my purpose on today's call is to provide you that support, and hopefully I've given you the clarity that you were looking for. So my suggestion to you, because early on you said that this is a priority for you, it's something that you're motivated to build. So my suggestion to you will be to remember these 3 areas that I shared with you today. And would you want to have a second call personally with Saba so she can go at a deeper level into analyzing these 3 things that we covered with you?
Yeah.
Would you like that?
Yep.
Okay, so we are at the end of the week. So how does next week sound?
Next week, yep, next week is good. Wednesdays are, no, not Wednesday. Tuesday or Thursday? But
okay,
Sean,
yeah,
just
go ahead.
just as a feedback, you reckon my what my purpose and stuff, you like it, yeah?
What do you think?
High five. No, I really appreciate it, man.
I have a lot of friends. We are not really close, but I have friends that are single moms, and they are smiling, like they look normal, but I just know that it must be so tough for them. My elder brother, his family is complete, and even then, he's having such a hard time, and he is a grown-ass man, you know. What about girls that are younger and their family wasn't complete? So they have fear, they have doubt, and they need someone like you. That
Yeah.
I know you are not perfect as well, but you have been through that phase.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny, yeah, because like that's the whole point. There is no perfection. And if you see like I'll tell you a funny story. The other day I was taking my son to MMA, yeah. And I was wearing my leggings, but I had like another pair of pants on top of it, like a tracksuit pants. And my mum was like, "Man, you have a big hole, in your pants." And I said, "That's all right, mum. Nothing gonna bother me." And I went to the MMA with my torn pants and everything. And that's what I do with my kids, right? I make them uncomfortable enough so that if anything shifts, they're cool with it. So it's like my kids don't go out with makeup. It's things that I have monitored from a very young age when I've said, let me put them a little bit uncomfortable. So the more they get used to being uncomfortable, hearing no, blah, 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 you know what? They understand to stand in their own. I don't care really. Like I have a hole in my pants. My hair's not done. Very cool. They're very cool. Like right now, my hair and makeup, nothing done. I still got on a call with you because it's like, dude, this is who I am. If you need to be able to see who I am, right? So it's all about that ownership. And mum has to be that first. Mum has to be that first.
Yeah, to answer your question, I'm a guy, and even hearing the things you shared with me this past hour, I wish my mom had taught me all of these things.
Wow, thanks, man.
Yeah, so I'm telling you right now, you have a message, and you have something, and it needs to be out there. How are you sitting at home with all this inside of you, and you're just keeping it inside, and only your 3 kids get the benefit
Yeah.
from this, and what about other kids?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want to, because man, seriously, the joy I've had of being a parent, the relationship I have, it's so much treasure that's why now it's coming out. And I was like, dude, everybody can have this. Everybody can have this treasure, like it's the most amazing thing. Like,
Hey, if you can be the same parent that you are for your kids, for your clients, and lead them and coach them in the same way that you are firm with your kids, that the way you nurtured them, you will have a very successful and fulfilling coaching business in the same way that you have a successful and united and wonderful family. I'm very sure about that.
thanks, man. Really.
And
Yeah.
so I would really like for you to have that conversation with Saba to
Absolutely.
talk more about the technical stuff in terms of what I mentioned. Remember, it's how you're going to attract those moms, right? How
Yes.
you're going to sell them in a way that's aligned with your values.
Yes.
And have that offer. You must have that offer.
Okay, done. I'll have that ready.
Okay.
I'll have that ready.
Yeah. So you were saying Tuesday?
Tuesday, yeah. Tuesday or Thursday?
Tuesday or Thursday. Okay. How does Tuesday 1 p.m. sound Eastern?
Oh God, what does that mean?
Okay. What's the time zone you're in?
Melbourne. So it's 11 a.m. right now.
I'll do a quick conversion.
Sorry, man.
EST to Melbourne time zone. Okay. So Tuesday, 1 p.m. it's 3 a.m. your time. Okay, let me see.
Kill you, Sean. I'm also starting a podcast with another single mom. She's in Mexico, so that will be interesting too. will add to the mix. And I'm very, very raw. So that will be good to add to it, sort of, you know.
What's your podcast title?
It's going to be called Namaste Amigos because she's Mexican, I'm Indian.
Namaste Amigos. Okay.
So
When is it starting?
So basically, we're just getting the logos and everything done. We're doing a recording next Wednesday. And maybe like within a few weeks, it should be up, you know, and literally discussing everything from race to color issues, cultural issues, religious issues, everything, you know, sexual, everything. But very real, like no sugarcoating and stuff.
Okay. How does Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Wednesday Sabbath's time is
Mm-hmm.
going to be Thursday your time. Okay, so how does Thursday 7 a.m. sound? Is that too early?
Nah, man, I'll just do it. No, that's fine. Like I said,
This is
my
the
daughter.
best time I can find between the
And
both of you.
that's why I thought, no, 7 a.m. go for it. I will get my daughter to take my son to school, and I will be there 7 a.m. Thursday.
Okay, I'm going to extract your email, so I'll send you another calendar invite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your email is apwithasia@yahoo.com, right?
Yep.
Okay, I have just sent you a calendar invite. Could you have a look at your inbox to see if the time and the date is correct?
Okay, let me see. Wednesday, 5 p.m. That is, yep, all good.
Okay, so the details are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will send you a notification to remind you again as the date is coming
Good.
near.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, I appreciate this conversation so much. I learned so many things that I would never have learned if I never met you today. So I'm grateful that the universe brought us together.
Thank
So
you, Sean.
sending you peace, love, and blessings to you and your entire family. And I'm excited for what's next for you.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate this call, man. Thank you so much. And you're amazing, dude. Amazing person. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Have a great day, Isha.
See ya.
Bye-bye.